What is up, everyone? So, last video, we proposed the idea of turboing my NA SR20 in my S14. Yes, this thing right here. I don't want to say anything bad about the engine, but it doesn't make a lot of power.
It's not useless, but it's good.
Okay, fair enough. So, the prices of DET engines these days are absurd. And, well, I don't want to put one in, and I don't want to swap this thing out. So I figured the next best thing to put a pep in the step of this car is to throw a turbo on it and really see what the limits are of the non-turbo SR20s. We talked about the differences in the last video. Well, we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, so our goal for today is
to get the turbo bolted on and to get all of the lines ran. Now today we are going to be doing the sketchiest part of the process. Scariest. I don't know what you guys want to consider it, but today we are gonna be drilling into the engine block in the car to add a oil return and to add a coolant feed for the turbo, and then bolting everything up. So if you guys didn't watch the last video, go watch it. It'll catch you up to speed. But like we talked about, the turbo engines have a tap in the block for the oil drain and a tap in the block for a coolant feed. So for the non-turbo engines, they're not as lucky. They just have a blank spot on the block for the oil return and the coolant feed. So today we're gonna be drilling those things out to add the things that we need for the turbo. So the first thing we gotta do is tap the oil drain. Now this thing uses a 1/2" NPT tap with the corresponding 23 30-second drill bit, which is massive. So that's going to be a lot of material that hopefully we don't get in the engine. All right, so I measured the depth on the DET engine so we could kind of see if we're getting close. We're almost there, almost there. So it's pretty apparent that a little bit of metal is gonna get in the oil pan no matter what, right? It's gonna happen. We're gonna try and flush out with some oil afterwards, but we're gonna cross our fingers on that one. But to prevent as much as possible, we're gonna do the good old fashioned grease trick, right? This will come in a lot handier when we do the tapping, since there's a lot more finer pieces of metal. But even for the bigger chunks, it works out. So right, you take your drill bit. What's gonna happen is when we drill, the metal flakes are just gonna get embedded in the grease. Drill a little bit, wipe off the grease, repeat. See, gets caught up right in it. So we're gonna wipe it and repeat.
What are you guys doing? Drilling blocks?
Drilling blocks.
Tapping, normal day.
Did you just wake up?
Been up since 7 o'clock.
Bullshit.
Bullshit indeed.
You ain't scared, James.
No, it just takes forever, dude. You get like one rotation and this thing's
Clogged up.
So obviously, you could take your upper oil pan off if you wanted to.
No one's got time for that.
No one's got time for that. Probably the smart way to do it, but so be it.
It blows up, huh?
Nah, we'll be fine.
Oh,
We got another one tucked in the corner back
what I'm
there.
saying.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take it off of DJ's car. He'll never know.
Take that
True.
thing.
DJ wants the engine swap his 14, but he sleeps, so if I take his engine, maybe it'll wake him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll really give me a kick in my ass.
How are we not through yet?
Many minutes later.
Forever later, as you could tell, this hole is super, super deep. We're about to break through. So I figured it'd be a lot smarter to tap the hole while it's not fully broken through, so we don't have to worry about the material getting into the engine. And then once it's tapped, drill a slightly smaller hole on the inside to then break through the metal. Let's just hope this thing goes in straight. I love tapping aluminum, it's so much easier. See, now this way, we don't have to worry about the little metal chunks getting in because it's not gonna go anywhere. So that should be enough. Look at that, we're threaded, boys. Quick test fit on the OEM piece. There we go. Love to see that. Look at that. It's basically a turbo engine.
Damn near could have fooled me.
Love to see it. So then I'm gonna take a smaller drill bit so I could drill through entirely without hitting the threads that we just tapped. So this is bigger than the port on here. So there's no flow restriction, don't worry. And this is when we gotta be really patient and not get any shavings inside the engine. I'm not freaking out. Are you freaking out, DJ?
Is this the part you wanted me to do?
No. Let's blow through a million more paper towels.
Would you trust me to do it? Yeah.
No.
Why?
All right, so what after feels like literally forever, we have finally broken through, and I think we did a pretty good job of not getting stuff in there. Can we even see? Look at that. That's not too bad if it'll focus. So as you guys can see, we are good to go. Dude, I can't see anything. So luckily there's no baffling or anything in the way to actually hold the metal in place. So I got this bottle just filled up with motor oil. I'm gonna kind of give it a quick flush to make sure if any metal's in there, it's getting down into the lower pan. I'm just gonna squeeze. Get up in there. And the last piece of the puzzle. OEM fresh. Not bad, I'm pretty hyped about this. That looks really good. So moving on to the next step, we are going to be doing the coolant feed for the turbo now. Now this one makes me a little bit nervous, but we should be fine. So like I said before, right here is where the coolant feed would be on the turbo engine. Of course, all we have is this little nub. Now, if you don't want to do this, you could technically kind of tee into one of the coolant lines on the intake side of the engine, but I kind of want to make it like official. I don't want to like have to worry about any more coolant leaks or any nonsense. So we're gonna do this and give it a shot, right? What's the worst that could happen? Worst case, we just shove it with JB Weld and move on with our life.
Worst case, you drill straight through the cylinder wall. And then you fill it with JB Weld.
Yeah, then you fill it with JB Weld. Want to drill it?
Yes.
Don't fuck it up.
I won't fuck it up. Why is there tape on there? So to know for the...
Oh man, when they ask that, if they ask that,
Get after it.
Hold on, don't rush me. Why is there no grease on this one?
Because don't worry about it.
I could go until it hits the tape?
Yeah. Get after it, Donnie. There we go. That's right. Look at those chips flying. Oh my God. How does it make you feel?
Good.
All right, now this is the point where we actually have to try. Let's do this like 7 more times and we should be good to go. Little video of a video. Look how nice that is.
So
you did nick it a little.
I poked the cylinder wall just a little bit. It's fine, it's thick. I'm really happy. All right, let's tap that thing and we should be good to go. So the grease works real well on the tap because it has like these little edges in it. All the metal shavings will actually end up in this groove, which is really nice. And I do not have the right T-handle for this, obviously.
Wrench works.
Wrench works. See how all the bits get stuck in the grease?
Yep.
Top tier technique for this thing. Now let's hope that I tapped it to the right thread pitch. Ooh.
Smooth.
Love that. Oh yeah, that's smooth, dude. And just like that, we have a coolant feed. Dude, that's super exciting. Not bad. This is the scariest part of all of this.
Yeah.
And we just banged it out. So I am super happy, and I think we did I'll give myself an A-.
It's a good rating.
It's a good grade. I'll pass. All right, so now today we ooh, the table's unstable. All right, so today we are getting the turbo set up to actually put in the car. I'm super excited about it since now we have all the ports that we need in the engine. So this is our turbo setup. We have a stock DET manifold. We have a GT2860 RS. So what we have to do first is we got to change the wastegate because right now it has like a 14-pound wastegate on it. And I want to start off with something a little bit lower so we have a smaller foundation to work our way up, right? So I bought a 7-pound gate and we're gonna swap it out. Like I honestly think this thing would survive at like 12, 14 PSI if we like did it right, but it's always good to leave yourself some room to run a boost controller, you know? Pop that off.
Weld the gate shut.
No, not this time. So it's pretty cool though. I got a lot of DMs the last couple days about like the turboing at NA SR. A lot of positive feedback and I'm really happy to hear it. So it seems like if you have these things set up properly, they will survive for quite a while. And that's what I want to hear. All right, so we have the wastegate on, which will give us about 7 PSI, which is a good foundation. And then the next step that I like to do that like makes things a lot more convenient is we're actually gonna put a vacuum fitting on the turbo itself for a reference for the wastegate, or else you gotta put a barb either in your intercooler piping or you take something from your intake manifold, which means you gotta run a vacuum line multiple feet. And since this line, if damaged, will cause you to overboost, you wanna make it as short as possible, right? Less likely for it to pierce and you overboost your car. So this is an MPT fitting, right? Which means the threads are actually tapered. And I don't actually have an MPT tap for this size, but what I do have is a drill bit that's the same size as the smallest thread. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna use this to tap its own threads. Since it is aluminum and this is stainless, it should just cut right through it. Seems a little iffy, but it works. Should actually start cutting into the aluminum. Look at that. It's like already just threading in. Boom. That does look kind of goofy, huh?
It works.
It works. Definitely works. All right, so we got the vacuum line nice and short. I left it on the longer side though, just in case we want to put a boost control on it. We are good to go. So, Ant, what's the last piece of the puzzle until we can get the turbo on?
Oil feed.
Oil feed.
You want to do this while the turbo's off.
Oh yeah. So for our high pressure oil source on the engine, we are going to be using the port for the oil pressure sensor. Now this is really hard to film because it's really tight down there. As you guys might not be able to see, the oil filter is currently out because I just took it out. So you see that thing right there. That's your oil pressure sensor. Check this out, right? So as you can tell, this has a tapered thread like an NPT, but it's not actually NPT. This is a BSPT. Don't get it confused. 1/8 inch BSP male to 4AN adapter male. Now you could do -3. I wanted -3, but they didn't have any -3 in stock, so I just got -4. It works out, right? So you can get a T to run this and the line, but the T didn't come in, so we're just gonna replace it. It might sound a little sketchy, but this factory oil pressure sensor does nothing for me, so I'm not too worried about it. So we got the line on. We're gonna do some heat management. I love this stuff, look at it. It's really stretchy, has a fiberglass inside. So huge shout out to our buddies at Funk Motorsports for all our heat management materials. And look at this stuff, it's beautiful. Boom. How good is that, dude? You can't beat that.
That is good.
I love that. And then if anyone wants to know the length on the line, this is a 44 inch line with a 90 degree on the end. I wouldn't go much shorter than this, but 44 is definitely perfect length. The big moment, Donnie. Happy you showed up.
I'm here. You good? Very sick.
Dude's been sick for like 4 weeks.
Dude's been sick his whole life.
Yeah, you're right. So we're putting it on with all the lines on the turbo, right? Everything else we can get to on the engine once it's already in. So let's get this thing bolted up. What's the tip, Ant?
Before you put the manifold onto the block,
Yep.
tighten it.
Let's hear it.
You should tighten the coolant feed from the block because you have so much room to turn
yeah.
it instead of trying to cram down in there.
Let's get the lines in place and start snugging everything up. But she's about officially ready to be bolted in, which is super exciting.
Look at that thing.
Look at that, she's a turbo engine now. Same thing.
Basically.
Basically.
Delete this. Smart coils.
You'll never know.
They'll never
You could
know.
really scumbag someone if you wanted to. I forgot what we filmed last. I've been running around a lot today, but I got all the lines tight. The coolant feed on the block, coolant return on the elbow, the drain and the feed is around the engine, and of course on the oil pressure sensor underneath. So let's get this thing in the air, let's change the oil and get the rest of the exhaust on. And I really just want to hear this thing start up. I don't have an intercooler hooked up and we're still on the stock injectors. It should idle and we could hear some turbo noises and make sure nothing leaks. That's the goal, right? Sound good?
Sounds about right.
Let's see if any metal got in the oil. I think we did pretty good. Ooh, so far, no metal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh. What was that?
I don't know, I'm not gonna question it. All right, so now we're gonna bolt up the exhaust. So, since it is basically set up just like a DET engine, all DET parts will fit, right? No custom anything, which is nice. So this downpipe is specifically for an SR, doesn't matter what chassis. S13, S14, they both fit. Then to connect the two exhausts, we have this new high flow catalytic converter. Should pull itself together. Not bad, all right? Might leak, it might not. We're gonna find out. We're good. We're good. Everything's great. It looks nice though. Just 3 different colors of tubing. Don't think about it. Oh, not too bad, not too bad. No funnel ever, Jesse, you know that. We don't sleep out here. Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Little scare tactics.
Oh, going down's the sketchy part. Here we go, boys. Oh boy, a little overfilled. All right, so the turbo is fully hooked up. I'm really hoping for no oil leaks, right? There's no MAF on it or anything, but we didn't change the stock injector, so it should technically run. I'm just dying to hear what it sounds like with a turbo on it because we heard it without a turbo, right? And Donnie, what do we say? What makes the best muffler?
Turbo.
A turbo. So let's see how she sounds. I'm hoping to inspire you here, Donnie. You know what, Donnie? It looks like you got the suds, doesn't it? Look at him. Quieter now, isn't it?
It is.
Just on startup. No leaks so far. Jesse's got his eyes peeled.
I'm on duty.
Turbine is in fact spinning, which is good. It's
only gonna run for like 3 grand. It's so quiet with the turbo on.
You can't get past like 3 grand, so you can't even hear it, but so far, I think it did quiet down quite a bit.
It does sound like quieter, like idling.
You don't hear any boost. I mean, you don't hear any noise from the turbo because obviously the thing won't rev past like 3 grand, but most of your runs, it doesn't leak oil, so I think we did pretty good so far. I want to hear some turbo noises, so we have that set up. Give me 1 second. Here we go. There we go. All right, ready, Tony? That's crazy. All right, whatever. You still can't hear the turbo noises, which is kind of upsetting, but it had a crazy amount of intake noise.
Sounds sick though.
It does sound sick. Last 2 like physical things, we have to swap out the injectors, right? Got to do that still, and we also have to add an intercooler. Now the intercooler is kind of a huge part of it, not really. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but we do have like a kit for it. We just have to make mounts for the intercooler. So besides that, we're gonna be making a jumper harness to run a standalone on it, and then we're ready to put this thing on the dyno and make some jams. So for now, I'm really happy with the progress. Turbo's on, that's I would say the biggest part of the whole project, and now it's time for some tedious bolt-on stuff, and we should be good to go. So for now, we're gonna end it. I'm very excited, and I mean, I'll get this out of here. This is really killing the vibe here, Tony. And as of right now, I'm gonna call this a turbo engine. Like the turbo's shoved down there, so it's hard to tell, but I'm looking at it differently. If we were to swap out the cam angle sensor, you know, into the distributor, you'd never know.
Smart coils.
Smart coils?
That's it.
That's it. You could like, if you wanted to, you could really scumbag someone with a setup like this. If you change out the distributor for a cam angle sensor right here, put smart coils in it, put a cover on it, and even if you powder coated this, you would never know it's a DE engine.
Sad but true.
Sad but true. So I don't want to give any of those scummy little importers out there any ideas, because there's quite a bit of those out there, but it's cool. You could trick your friends at least, right? Hey, a notch top SR20 right now, at least like on eBay, they're asking silly prices. I see some go for affordable prices like on the actual market, but still. You're gonna look real rich with a turbo on one of these things. But for now, we're gonna end it. I got a lot of stuff to catch up on, so I'm gonna use this time to do so. So I hope you guys like the progress so far, and I hope you guys are learning a thing or two, so you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more content. And Grubby,
See you later, guys.